Hey, everybody, thank you for joining me today. We have a great episode ahead today. We are going to talk about if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you're working out, you're eating clean, but you're not seeing the gains that you want, or you're carrying specifically some more fat than you think you should be. And so we're going to break down the main reasons why that might be happening. And it's interesting. There's some of these that I've certainly been guilty of over the years, and so I think I can speak to some of those just from experience. But for those of you that don't know, my name is BJ. I'm a natural professional bodybuilder. I am 55 years old. And so I just want to share, and the whole impetus of this channel was, we want to share about aging gracefully and about what's possible and about, being able to live our lives where we enjoy our kids, our grandchildren, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and we can live a full life. And so let's get right into it. And we're going to start with number one is we overestimate the calories burned. So a lot of times what we do is, you'll have maybe a Fitbit or Apple Watch or something like that, and it gives you the calories that you burn in your workout. And we think, okay, well, that's great. I have some extra calories here that I've used up. But those are typically not accurate. And more importantly, the time in the gym that we spend is probably only about 5 or 10% of our calorie burn for the day. So it's not going to help us just to know, okay, I burned this many calories at the gym, and so I have, I've done this many calories. I can use up this many calories, that kind of thing. So, what I used to do, and this is a thing, do not do this, okay? But what I would do sometimes is think, okay, well, I burned X number of calories while working out today, so those are like free calories for me, right? So I would go about and say, okay, well, I'm going to eat extra this, or I'm going to have extra one of these because I've worked out today, and it just completely derailed my fitness progress, and I ended up being exactly what we talked about. I ended up walking around, carrying around a bunch of extra fat, even though I was working out and ate, mostly clean, right? So that one's pretty important, that we just need to be aware of what calories are we burning. And, the best thing to do is, if we're going to look at our calorie expenditure, leave the gym to the side and just look at what we're doing. You can use your Fitbit to count steps and things like that throughout the day. And just get an idea of what we're burning for calories, and realize that the calories we burn, it's not a free food pass, right? That's the way I kind of had dealt with it before, and it was a disaster. So it made a mess of my overall calories at the end of the day. So I ended up, like I said, it was carrying more fat. I was not feeling good, not getting good results, frustrated because I wasn't making the progress that I thought I should be making from the gym. Okay, mistake number two is thinking that more cardio equals more fat loss. And there's a half truth to this, because when you do cardiovascular exercise at the gym, whether it's walking, treadmill, riding a bike, stairs, whatever you're doing, you're going to be burning some calories. However, cardio just burns calories. It doesn't actually affect your body's ability to burn more calories at rest. And that's what resistance training does. It raises our basal metabolic rate. And that means the calories that we burn at rest, because as we add muscle, we're going to burn more calories. So what should we be doing on that? Well, real simple, and we talk about this a lot on the channel, but you should be prioritizing, 2 to 3 weeks at least, 2 to 3 times a week at least, of weight training, of some kind of resistance training, and focusing on positive, progressive overload. So that means we're doing things to make it harder every time we work out. Maybe you're adding more reps, maybe you're adding more sets, maybe you're switching up exercises, or maybe you're going to Do some advanced techniques like drop sets, where you start lowering the weight for a set when you can't do the certain weight anymore, and you lower it, do some more reps, etc., etc., etc. So that's number two. Number three is thinking that a high rep workout regimen is going to allow your body to add muscle. And really, we've done a whole episode on rep ranges and things like that. But if you're doing 20 or 30 reps and it's just not hard work for your muscles, you're not actually causing your muscles to change, to adapt. And that's what growth is all about. So you need to be making sure that you're putting in enough effort at the gym with the weight, not just with the reps. So, good rule of thumb for hypertrophy, which is growing muscle, is to aim for 8 to 12 reps per set. And also, we want to, when we're at the end of that set, so if we're somewhere in that 8 to 12 rep range and we're going to stop, that we're at 2 reps in reserve or less, maybe 3 reps in reserve or less on the work sets, right? So that means you're working hard, and when you stop, you could maybe do 1 or 2 more reps, and that's it, okay? And that will cause your body to respond by adding muscle. It'll cause adaptation, and you'll add muscle as a result. So that's important, because it's having that muscle in the long term that will burn calories at rest. The cardio, sure, there's an important part to cardio from our heart perspective and from being healthy, whether it's 20 or 30 minutes 3 times a week or more. But if all we do is cardio and eat properly and everything else, we're going to end up carrying ultimately more fat. And we just did an episode on skinny fat, but this is also where we get trapped in the whole skinny fat kind of thing there. So, okay, that's number 3. So number 4 is having an all or nothing eating mentality. And, really simple, whatever you decide for your nutrition part of your fitness lifestyle, you need to be able to do it as just that, a lifestyle. And a lifestyle allows for, you're going to have free meals. You're going to be able to go out and enjoy family time, enjoy time with friends, and not be where, oh no, I've gone out and I have blown it, so I'm going to drive this thing right off of the rails and eat everything. Okay, so you need to have something that from a lifestyle point of view, you can reasonably do and you can reasonably live with. And that one is so important because, and maybe you don't have this thinking, but I had this at one point, that I have to do it all perfectly all the time, or else it's not worth doing anything. And really, all that got me was frustrated. Frustrated and wondering why I wasn't making gains, because I would eat good and then bang, I would do something, and then for 3 or 4 days eat whatever, then go back to eating good, and then back to bang, right off the rails again, and wonder why I wasn't making any gains. Well, because I wasn't giving myself a realistic framework for me to work within. And so, you need to figure out what that looks like for you with your calories and your macros and all of those things. But a good idea is that you need to have something that allows you to enjoy a meal with friends that's maybe not exactly in your plan for everything else for that week. And that will help you. Okay, number 5, this kind of goes with this, is striving for 100% perfection in everything that you do. A lot of what we hear in today's world and society is you have to, be the best, do the best. And I'm all for putting in the effort and giving your best effort and all of those things. But, think of it this way. You need to build something that you can say, okay, I'm going to be 85%, 100% I'm on this thing. And there's going to be a day where, for whatever reason, maybe my body's telling me to rest, so I'm not going to work out today. Or I'm going to, we just talked about the nutrition part. I'm going to go out with some friends and maybe we're going to have cake at somebody's birthday or whatever the case might be. So what happens is when we try to be perfect, and here's the other part about being perfect, is give yourself some latitude so that if you, if you go off of something, whether you miss a workout, whether you miss your cardio, whether you eat what you shouldn't eat or don't eat what you should eat, Give yourself some latitude. I always think of it this way. I want to give myself lots of mercy because I know I'm going to, and I want to give other people lots of mercy because I know I'm going to need it too. So give yourself some latitude to say it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect in order for this thing to work. So really we could say a simple rule of thumb, maybe aim for 85 to 90% consistency as opposed to perfection. It's interesting. If you will be 80 or 90% consistent and not trying to be absolutely perfect, you will find that you're going to make better gains, more consistent gains, and see better changes as you go. So progress happens when we are consistent, not when we are perfect. Okay? So what can we take away from this? So fat loss, really it's more about consistency, awareness, and about implementing a strategy that you can do in a lifestyle that works for your lifestyle. And so we want to focus on building muscle. You want to track if you're looking at the calories that you burn, track the calories that you burn. If you want to know exactly what you take in for calories, take a week and track all of your calories. There's lots of apps that will help you do that. I use MyFitnessPal quite a bit for things like that. And then figure out where you're starting from so that you can move on from there and focus on that resistance training so that you can be building that muscle. And the last one we left with was avoid trying to be perfect. Avoid perfectionism. Just show up. Show up, be consistent, put in the effort, and let's go for it. Some simple things that you can try. Just try this for a week and put it in the comments. Try this for a week and put it in the comments and let me know how it goes. But maybe take 7 days and using something like MyFitnessPal, log your calories so you know what you're consuming for calories. And maybe resistance training, just really focus, dial in your resistance training this week and really start to put in that time in the gym and make a point to enjoy a free meal, high calorie meal, fun meal, whatever you call it, every week. My coach, we just did a little switch in my diet because I'm going to work on some mass building now. And my program includes one high calorie meal a week. You might be saying, well, that's not very much. Well, it's what I prefer. I could say, well, we need to do more. I'd like to have more, but I prefer one a week. So you can figure out what works for you, but your plan should include something that allows you to enjoy some kind of fun meal every week that still fits within the overall macros and everything. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't, and if you think there's some value in what you've seen today, please give us a like for the video, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything, and we'll see you next time.